Hey everyone, Kelly Dean Allen here again. Today, going to show you how to play River of Deceit by McCready and Mad Season from 1995. So then, while in rehab in 1994, I believe, McCready of Pearl Jam met bassist John Baker Saunders, and they decided to form a Get Clean side project group unrelated to Pearl Jam, and thought that it would be of great help to Alice in Chains vocalist Lane Staley to join them in this project in an effort to be around a group of struggling to stay clean musicians to possibly help him kick his raging heroin habit. Sadly, it didn't, of course, and one album, Above, would be all that we would get from this grunge supergroup before they eventually disbanded and went their separate ways. This track, River of Deceit, is arguably the highlight from that album, and its most well-known track. Let's close in here a little bit, learn how to play it, shall we? Good then, River of Deceit and McCready Mad Season. We are in standard tuning for this tutorial. This one starts like this. Open G, 3rd fret of the B string with your index. You're going to let that ring for about a bar. 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to play this little G major scale lick, which is kind of the core of the intro, right? Repeat it 2 more times with variations. The first playthrough of this is almost all single notes until you get to the end of it, right? Hammering on 3 to 5 back to 3 of the B, up to the 4 of the G, back to the 3 of the B, then you're going to go back to the 4 of the G, slide it back to 2, pull it off to open, right? Right back onto that 2 of the G, slide it into 4, pull it off to open. And then you're going to drop onto the 2 of the D string, catch it along with the open G, and then after you do that, on the upstroke, a light open G string, right? And then we're going to do a hammer on from open D along with the open G string onto 2 of the D and back off again, right, with the open G. And then we're going to strum that G chord that we started the song with, but now we're going to add the D string. The first time it was just 2 strings. This time, it's 3 strings. The D, G, and B string. Just holding that 3 of the B, right? And then we're going to repeat it. However, now, once we repeat it, we're playing the exact same thing, but now we're going to add the open G string to start it, right? And then we're going to add the open D string once we drop onto the 2 to do that slide into 4. So when you drop onto that 4, right, of the G, back to the 3, back to the 4, and then you slide it back to 2, you cannot play the open G along with it. So the open G is really just ringing out for this trill, right? And then you do play the lick, right? Now when you drop onto that 2 to do that slide into 4, you're going to catch it along with the open D string. And then drop back onto that 2, again, right, with the open G, catch that G on the upstroke, do the hammer on. And then this time, the 3rd time, you're going to play that G chord with 4 strings, D, G, B, and high E, just making a little bar here on the 3s, right? And then you're going to repeat it 1 more time, played exactly the same way you played it the 2nd time. Right? And then we're going to drop into the 1st verse. However, a harmony joins this time. Right there. So all on the 3s and 5s of the B and the high E and the 4 of the G. Finishing with a hammer on 3 to 5 of the B onto the 4 of the G. Right, that's the harmony. Now, and that leads into the 1st verse with this F chord, right? Into that, and then into G. But let's recap that whole intro, right? 2 strings, single notes, hammer on, G, hammer on, G, with the high E, right, and now we drop into F. Let it ring for about a bar into this. So we're going to back that F off to the 2nd fret of the G string along with the B. right? Just off to open, hammer on open D along with the G and the B string, hammer on to 2. And then strum it a little bit, and then drop into G, right? And then the first verse gets underway. 2, 3, 4. And then you hang in G for 2 bars, and then the verse. Just back and forth. So we're dropping into an F chord here initially, but we're immediately going to pull off our middle finger from that second fret of the G. You want to pull off upwards, not downwards, right? You're going to pull off to open G, puts us in an F sus2. And then G. And repeat. And that just repeats all throughout the first verse, just pulling off to F sus2 into G, a bar of each, and just repeat all throughout the first verse. That leads into the chorus. The chorus is all little double stops here. These 4 double stops, starting on the 3s of the B and the high E. Little mute, and then you're going to drop onto a double stop on the 5s and slide it into 8. And then off to a little double stop here on the 8 of the B, 7 of the high E. And then you're going to do little pull-offs from 8 of the high E back off to this 8-7. Like 3 times, right? And you're going to repeat that 4 times. And the 4th and final time, you're going to hit this one, and then just go on to that 8 of the high E and back off again just once. Right? And then we're into the down, O down section before the next verse starts. And he's adding lots of fills here. And it's just going from F to G. The very first time he hangs in F. Down, down. And then he starts pulling off to that F sus2 every time going forward. Just the first time during the down, O down section does he hang in F. Down. And then between, you're going to repeat that little F to G 8 times, and between each time you're going to add a little fill. The first fill is this. Before dropping back into F sus2 again. So coming out of that G, just going to slide 3 into 5 of the B along with the open G. Off to 3, grab that 4 of the G, slide it back to 2, off to open, right? Back into F sus2. And that's the second fill. Open G, open B, hammer onto 1 of the B, catch it a couple of times on the upstroke, and then pull it off to open, catch the open G, right? Right, back into F sus2. G, 3rd fill. So sliding that 3 into 5 again of the B, catch a little double stop on the 3s, grab that 4, slide it back to 2, off to open, right? Back into F sus2, into G. And then the 4th time, before starting over again, we're going to kind of just hang in G, and then just grab that 4, slide it back to 2, off to open before starting again, dropping back into F sus, right? Into G, repeat the first one. This time, he's going to do that bluesy little lick here. 3 of the high E, bending the 2 of the G. Pick it a couple of times at the top and release, right? Back into F sus2. G, repeat the the third one, grabbing that little double stop on the 3s, F sus2 again, into G. And then we're into the next verse, and we've already learned it. It's just F sus2 off to G without all those fills. So let's just recap that, right? All those little fills. Starting in F, stays in F the first time. And there you go. That is how you play River of Deceit, Mike McCready and Mad season. Certainly hope you enjoyed that, found it helpful. If you did, please hit that like button down there, wherever it is. Maybe drop me a subscribe if you haven't done that already, as that would be very kind and kind of helpful to my channel. Hope you're well out there in your little guitar corner of the world, wherever that may find you, and we will see you next time. Cheers.